I'm real as the shit, as real as it gets. It's real talk and I'm really the shit. I'm like a star in the presence of gifts. Give you light where it doesn't exist. Real truth put me up on the list. Real talk, can you handle the spit? Real facts put your soul on the lips so we can journey with a solar eclipse. It's realness when reality hits. In the presence of minds with third eyes open all in this bitch. Eyes shut, we just open with slits so you can focus on truth. The cortex catching all of these myths. Fast spoken through the strength of my lips. I'm so amazing with this. Truth is I'm as real as it gets.
Okay, work on this shit. My bad, y'all. Forgive me. I be ready to give up, but then people do be encouraging me and stuff like that. But you gotta understand, if you want somebody like me to keep bringing you this truth, or you want me to keep risking shit, I want to say this though.
I'm real as the shit, as real as it gets. It's real talk and I'm really the shit. I'm like a star in the presence of gifts. Give you light where it doesn't exist. Real truth put me up on the list. Real talk, can you handle the spit? Real facts put your soul on the lips so we can journey with a solar eclipse. It's realness when reality hits. In the presence of minds with third eyes open all in this bitch. Eyes shut, we just open with slits so you can focus on truth. The cortex catching all of these myths. Facts spoken through the strength of my lips. I'm so amazing with this. Truth is I'm as real as it gets.
What the fuck you really give a fuck about? I'ma say that. See, a lot of y'all support bullshit. A lot of y'all say you don't want drama. A lot of y'all say you don't want XYZ, but then you don't support a channel like me. And I ain't the only channel out here like me. Anybody, any channel out here that's trying to educate you or wake you the fuck up, support us. Period.
Hey y'all, welcome back to The Real Evvonne. I'm Evvonne, your host. I'm gonna get into it. My apologies for being late. Shit, ain't nothing new. But I will say I'm late because what I did was I get tired of like going back and forth, like, oh, let's look at this clip, let's look at this clip. So what I did was to make everything easy, I put together a 30-minute video with a bunch of clips to show y'all what I'm talking about. And if you don't know, again, you see the title, The Divine Nine. You're like, what's the Divine Nine? This has to do with the top Black fraternities and sororities. Okay? On college campuses, universities, whatever, that, right? And what I'm going to show in this video is the evilness behind it. There are so many people that claim to be represent some religion, right? Whether it's Christian, whatever, right? And they seem to think that they can still serve God and also be a part of these fraternities or sororities, right? Even Freemasons, like all that, right? And you can't. And the problem is, God says, my people are destroyed basically due to lack of knowledge. This is why he encourages us to seek out truth. See, part of seeking out truth is you're not going to automatically believe everything that somebody feeds to you. You're going to try and verify it for yourself. But if you want to be indoctrinated, that's fine. You're going to take whatever anybody tell you. But at the end of the day, when evidence is put before you, you can no longer say, I didn't know. Then with that being said, let me go ahead and get into what I put together for y'all. So like I said, it's about 30 minutes. So get your popcorn, whatever you need to. And then I'll be back at the end there with my very brief commentary on it. And that's it. Like I said, I just tried to make this kind of simple this time. I'm going to do this when I go live for now on. I will have uploads. I'll never upload at least one more on this channel this week. Then on my other channel. And if you have not already done so, make sure you are part of my Patreon. Because on my Patreon, I do have free stuff too. But then there's levels to that. Okay? So make sure you check me out on Patreon also, because I have at least 2 more videos that I have to upload this week that I owe, for this month. So anyway, enough of my babbling. Let's get into it. let me say this real quick, y'all. I know y'all like, what in the fuck is she doing? Look, I'm not used to having a Apple, desktop and shit like that. So, like I said, I pre-recorded something, right? But I pre-recorded on a laptop, right? So I'm sitting up here because I had to like transfer the shit. And then Apple tell me, oh, you need to do this, you need to go to Chrome, you need to check this, uncheck this. I'm like, what the fuck? So it took me out and back in. So I'm back in. I think it's fixed. So let's go. I don't want y'all to think like, what is she doing over there? Anyway, let's go.
And by the way, you know, I'm not, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where you think I'm joking. I learned a long time ago about the Divine Nine.
The Divine Nine is only an illusion of control. The control Biden is talking about is over you, Black people. Their job is simple: keep you dancing, singing, praying, protesting, and crying.
Now, on this final day of Black History Month, we want to celebrate the contributions of Black Greek letter organizations.
For over 100 years, what are called the Divine Nine have been on the front line fighting against injustice in the Black community. Today, it continues to produce members who have a passion for service.
For example, you've heard me say numerous times, I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and News 5 anchor, my co-anchor at 5 o'clock, Delon Dillard, is also a part of the Divine Nine.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. So you may recognize this picture here, part of a News 5 promotion or commercial, if you will. It was all about organizations right here in Cleveland that are really important to me and that I really serve in. Once this promo aired and people saw this picture, we got responses from viewers who were concerned about this sign that you see here. People assumed that it meant something negative.
Syncretism, when people merge different belief systems together. And this is also very common in the ritual books, or excuse me, the alleged ritual books. All right, here's an example. This is Delta Sigma Theta. It says, we believe in a spiritual life, but we leave to the individual the selection of the medium for its outward manifestation. A fire mist in a planet, a crystal ball in a cell, a jellyfish in a saurian, in caves where cavemen dwell. The sense of law and beauty in a face turned from the clod. Some of us call it longing, and others call it God. Does that sound like something a Christian organization would want their members to be reciting?
Breakers and trailblazers have always, in so many different ways, been connected to the Black fraternity and sorority organizations, including the great Shirley Chisholm, who was a proud member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
I have always been a catalyst for change.
The founders of these organizations, or they perhaps could never have envisioned that one day we would ascend to the highest levels of power and authority in the land, including within the Congress and now the White House. But I certainly know they dreamed it and believed that they were laying a foundation for great things to occur.
But because of my HBCU and Divine Nine family, I know I'm never the only person who looks like me or has had my life experiences.
The first Black collegiate Greek letter organization was the Alphas, and they were founded December 4th, 1906 at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York. It's important to note that the first two Black Greek fraternities were not started at HBCUs, which stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities. They were started at predominantly white universities. And yeah, I guess that makes sense if they were joining together in order to develop unity amongst the racial challenges and barriers that they faced. But even with that in the mix, what also needs to be understood is that these founders of these Black Greek letter organizations were not inspired by African Americans trying to make their place in the world. Greek letter organizations in America existed long before the Black Greek letter organizations started. If you want to understand this subject, you need to understand the Greek letter fraternities that were established first. In this publication, called the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry Southern Jurisdiction USA Journal, In the September/October 2016 edition, it has a very interesting piece about Greek organizations. Again, to be clear, this is a Freemason publication. The article is titled, "The Greek Rite, a survey of undergraduate fraternities founded by Masons." The article starts off like, "It would probably surprise many to know that quite a few Greek letter fraternities had their founding by Freemasons. This is worth exploring, if only because of the vast mystery and societal misconceptions that surround these fraternal organizations." The idea of a college fraternity had been established in 1750 with the formation of the Flat Hat Club, FHC, a secret society which was literary and social in nature, but not Greek. The FHC was the forerunner to fraternity life at the College of William and Mary, the second oldest college in the United States. FHC was founded on November 11th, 1750, at the Raleigh Tavern in Williamsburg, Virginia. The society was active from 1750 through the early 1770s, when membership dwindled. The first collegiate fraternity, Phi Beta Kappa, had all the characteristics of today's fraternities: a motto, a ritual, a badge, principles of high idealism, a bond of friendship and camaraderie, and an urge to share the organization's values through expansion to other campuses. These are all specific Masonic ideals and goals. Greek collegiate fraternity was Phi Beta Kappa. I've actually heard of them, though I knew little about them before this time. You actually might have heard of them too if you watch programs like The Different World when you were growing up.
Because it is 3.999 GPA and all around business as a student. It's being inducted into the highest of honor societies. Phi Beta Kappa!
You see, our television shows have long been programming us to accept things we know little about. In episode 25 of season 3 of The Different World, Dwayne Wayne got inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. It was so much of a big honor that his mom, who was played by Patti LaBelle, came down to support him.
You couldn't come, but I was about to that's my Phi Beta baby.
What I'm saying is that we have been programmed to accept these organizations that we know little about. They put it in our programming and they make us know about it, even though they're not telling us what it is. It's time that we at least become informed of what it is we are accepting. Tennessee Lodge of Research, in an article about Freemasonry and the development of Greek letter fraternities, it explains how Masonic symbolism and philosophy had a strong influence in the early development of many of the so-called Greek letter organizations, so commonly seen and accepted on college campuses throughout the United States. In some cases, the influence is little more than an association of ritual and secrecy. But in many cases, the relationships between Freemasonry and college fraternal organizations are strong and even enduring. Although not sanctioned by or directly connected to Freemasonry, Phi Beta Kappa patterned its initiations, oaths, and modes of proliferation after those of Freemasonry. 2 of the founding members and a total of 10 early members of Phi Beta Kappa were Freemasons. Similarities between Phi Beta Kappa and Freemasonry are easily seen. First, both organizations held their meetings within a shroud of secrecy. Freemasonry and Phi Beta Kappa both required new initiates to take voluntary oaths of fidelity. The oaths of Phi Beta Kappa mention the holy evangelists of Almighty God and the Supreme Being, both of which are commonly referenced in Masonic Lodge ritual. The 3 Greek letters stood for Philosophia Bio Carbonetes, love of wisdom, the guide of life, a parallel to Freemasonry's reverence for light or knowledge. In the Phi Beta Kappa ritual, the founders named friendship, morality, and literature as essential characteristics. These are closely related to the principal tenets of Freemasonry. These Greek letter organizations, when they have these initials of these Greek letters, these initials are secret Greek mottos. They're just not Greek letters with names. They have secret meanings, and this is why they chose the Greek letter organizations. I think that's important to identify with. But let's be clear. The first Greek letter organization in America is influenced heavily by Freemasonry and holds many of Freemasonry's practice and ideals. The founders of Phi Beta Kappa, the first Greek letter society, were required to be well-versed in Greek language, culture, and history. Consequently, They were aware of the central importance in Greek cultural history of an institution known as the Mysteries. The Mysteries were spiritual organizations to which only a select few were admitted for rites of initiation. For it was initiation that revealed the central teachings and philosophical wisdom of the ages. Another source, which many authorities believe inspired the structure and method of Phi Beta Kappa, was Freemasonry. Although the origin of Freemasonry is hotly debated, one interpretation suggests that Freemasonry is a latter-day effort to revive the methods and approach of the ancient mysteries. Like the mysteries, the candidate for initiation in Freemasonry passes through elaborate ceremonies where certain signs and symbols are revealed in an effort to open the participant's mind and imagination to a larger understanding of his essential nature, purpose in life, moral principles, and destiny. Okay, let's just cover that and put this in your foundation. These organizations chose Greek because they were taking part of the mystery religion, chose this culture in order to secretly go back to the mystery religions in which only a select few were admitted to know and understand. You must make sure you get that. Also know that the Knights Templar were burned at the stake and accused of being devil worshippers. If you understand that these people have used this language to work in the occult, that language has to do with the mysteries of the occult, you should really understand how deep this world is and how wicked this system is. They are practicing the mysteries, which is just another word for the occult or the mystery religion of the pagans. This is witchcraft. And what I am explaining is that the foundation of Greek letter organizations are started from this foundation. The article said, Phi Beta Kappa had all the characteristics of today's fraternities: a motto, a ritual, a badge, principles of high idealism, a bond of friendship and camaraderie, and an urge to share the organization's values through expansion to other campuses. These are also specific Masonic ideals and goals. So please note some of the Masonic ideals and goals, because when we explore the Black Greek fraternities and sororities, we will see that they were influenced by these same Masonic ideals. They have a motto, a ritual, a badge, principles of high idealism, and an urge to share the organization's values through expansion to other campuses. Alpha, Phi Alpha. We'll start back at that article. Alpha Phi Alpha was the first intercollegiate Greek letter fraternity that was established solely for African American men on the campus of Cornell University. In December 1905, principal founder Charles Poindexter met with 15 students, which included Vertner Tandy, a Prince Hall Mason from Lexington, Kentucky, and George B. Kelly, who was also active in Masonic circles and also an employee of Beta Theta Pi, in order to form an organization that developed leaders and promoted brotherhood, along with advocacy for social issues throughout their communities. To be thorough, the founders, who they call as the jewels of the fraternity, are Henry Arthur Callis, Charles Henry Chapman, Eugene Kinkle Jones, George Biddle Kelly, Nathaniel Allison Murray, Robert Harold Ogle, and Vertner Woodson Tandy. The Black Greek organizations are not pioneers. They are assimilators. They attach themselves to ideas of the people who enslaved their ancestors. Being a part of a Black Greek organization is not being a part of an African organization. I'm going to say that again. Being a part of a Black Greek organization is not being a part of a Black African organization. It is a European organization that Black men in this country were assimilated into by European influence. What we call pillars and staples in the Black community is just an assimilation and rebranding of our oppressors. Imagine the irony and hypocrisy these Black Greeks have, speaking on the horrors of oppression and slavery. But in every instance, we see that they did all that they could to adapt and to assimilate with their oppressors, with their witchcraft and mystery religions. It is a repeat in history that goes back to the book of Maccabees, back during that period. But during that period, the Hebrews died in order to preserve themselves. Almost 2,000 years later, these same Hebrews are sitting under them, trying to learn how to assimilate. It's disgusting to me, but I need to move on. So 2 of the 7 founding members of the Alphas, like I said, were Freemasons. And one of them was an employee of the Greek letter organization on his campus, Beta Theta Pi, which he was not able to be a member of, but he was able to learn about what they did and how they were structured. All these young Black men did was copy what they saw their oppressors do. They claimed they started these organizations because they were being denied essential rights and privileges afforded to them. They said because racial isolation on predominantly white institution campuses created the need for African Americans to align themselves with other individuals sharing common goals and ideas. But that's not true, because as we see, one of the founders of the Alphas worked for the white Greek organizations on their campus. The isolation that they were dealing with was that they were not able to join those groups, so they created their own groups. Just like the founder of the Boule, Minton, said, he wanted to create an organization which would partake, in his own words, of the tenets of Skull and Bones at Yale and Phi Beta Kappa. Be clear, this was assimilation. People conformed and sold out, and then they made it popular to us. You know that the Alpha's first initiation was done in a Masonic hall? Yes. The organization held its first initiation in a Masonic lodge in Ithaca. In Ithaca, the hall served 3 different organizations: the Ithaca chapter of the Prince Hall Masons, the Grand United Order of the Odd Fellows, Red Man's Lodge. The legend of their initiation has it that while they were in the Masonic lodge, they opened up the lockers and used various Masonic regalia that was found inside in order to enhance their ritual. The fraternity also used many Egyptian themes, such as the Great Sphinx of Giza in their regalia and in their symbols. I found a copy of their rituals. It's a reprint from 1976. Let me read you some of the things it says. The name Alpha Phi Alpha and the monogram AOA, as originally established, meant the first and leading brotherhood of the Ethiopians. But in addition now means the first and leading brotherhood of the Ethiopians to open its portal to the fellowship of mankind. We have chosen this name for the following reason. The word Ethiopians refers to a people who are among the oldest inhabitants of the earth, the fathers of Egyptian civilization and religious culture. Let's be clear. This is why they chose the Greek letters AOA in Greek. It's because they had a meaning, like I said earlier. There's secret meanings in these letters. They are mottos. What we are reading right now are people who either knowingly or unknowingly, it doesn't matter, they denounce their true heritage and they attach to a nation of people that have nothing to do with them. And they attach to their mystery religion, which is paganism. Let's read more. The Sphinx of Giza in Egypt, particularly its head, is our emblem. We have chosen it for the following reasons. Now they list A, B, and C. But D says, the head of the Sphinx is of Ethiopian caste, thereby symbolizing the ancient and honored peoples of mankind. The Ethiopians were leaders of their day. Now let's examine the deception, because so many of these alphas claim to be religious men of God who are believers in the Bible. Now be clear, regardless of if they know who they are or not, they have attached themselves to the Sphinx of Egypt, which in fact, when you understand this pagan mystery religion, the Sphinx represents Ra, a form of the sun god, which is the incarnation of royal power and the protector of the temple doors. But in plain understanding, Ra is Lucifer. This is their symbol, and they have tied themselves to it. These ideas of Freemasonry and the mystery religion would not be new to those who were Masons, or those who were influenced by Masons, or worked with other organizations who study the mystery religions too, like those other Greek letter organizations. But either way, what they knew or what they didn't know, who cares? Do you think that it is really going to matter to Yahuwah when they stand before him knowing that they chose the symbol of Ra to represent them as Ethiopians instead of being set apart to Yah? I don't think so. Yahuwah said, I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. That's Exodus chapter 20, verses 2 and 3. If we say we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not practice the truth. That's 1 John chapter 1, verse 6. So standing in front of him with these charges against us is pretty scary, to say the least. It does not matter what you know or you didn't know. Our job is to choose Yahuwah first and make him the priority. And if we do this, we will not and cannot accept that type of influence.
They smile wipe you. They do this thing where they make you sit in Delta chair, which is basically like squats. They sit on you. They spit on you. They hit. You know,
spit
mean, the most demeaning, disgusting stuff that you could ever imagine. We would do this thing called Delta Alpha, where we would literally all take and bite out of the onion and like pass it to each other. You know, we would eat dog food. If one of the girls on the line had like the prettiest hair, they would ruin it. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like ruin it. Pushing, shoving, smacking, hitting. You would have to take wood. Wood is where they, you know, they got the big paddles. You would have to get in the position and they would just tag you in, tag you out. A lot of anticipation built up at these probates because most of this is done in secret, so nobody really is supposed to know who's online until it's revealed at the probate. If you're wondering why people call it a probate, it's because the initiates are considered to be on probation until they have officially become members of the organization. Probate. So what happens is the new people usually come out in masks. Sometimes sororities will have girls in wigs or sunglasses, something to hide their identity. At most probates, you're going to see some type of skits performed.
I'm not going to believe this, but I didn't get the breakfast. What?
There will most definitely be singing. You're going to hear the organization's history being recited really, really fast.
Founded January 16, 1920 on the campus of Howard University, Washington, D.C. by the triumphant Arizona Cleaver Simmons, the triumphant Pearl Ann O'Neill, the triumphant Myrtle Tyler Faithful, the triumphant Viola Tyler Gomez, the triumphant Fannie Petty Watts, on the principles of scholarship, service, love, and idealifying our womanhood.
And you're probably going to see them perform their organization's signature routines. But it's also possible that you may see some performances that are extremely seductive and sexual. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Some of these probates are flat out raunchy.
Oh yeah, the women are like, hey, kitty, hey, kitty. Yes, sir. I'm for sure on the play. Thank you.
Not so much from the sororities, although some of the dancing at these parties and step shows can be a bit suggestive. It's usually the guys who are blatantly in your face nasty.
Jokes and toasts is continued in the party chants and steps of Black fraternities. This exaggeration of the sexual abilities of the performers raises the street stature of the individual and thus the organization. These behaviors stay firmly in the aesthetic of these oral phenomena by exploiting the idea of the over-endowed, extremely sexual Black male. This is illustrated by the existence of chants such as the following.
This leg, well, it's my hurt leg. This leg, well, it's all right. This leg points to the window. This leg points to the wall. This leg, well, it's my third leg, and it races down the hall.
This step was performed by members of Alpha Phi Alpha at a 1996 yard show at UCLA. At the end of the performance, the audience laughed and whooped at the antics of the entertainers, understanding that the step routine was a satire of the long-lived stereotype of Black men, or sexual stereotype. Kirsten Smith, artistic director of Step Africa, states that when she attended college in the 1980s, sexually explicit themes were only carried out by the men and were only done at the block show where very few elders attended. This was a picnic thrown by the students for the students. Sexually explicit themes were never meant to be performed at the step show during homecoming where families attended. I have heard of sexually explicit themes done by women at the graduate level. To brazenly spew sexually explicit themes in the name of any public service sorority or fraternity is the ultimate form of disrespect to our elders and to our respective organizations. Rather than draw on overt sexual imagery, sororities such as Sigma Gamma Rho and AKA brag about their members' ability to take any woman's man and to be the object of all men's desires.
This is my pinky, and this is my hand. It's just like an AKA to take your man. So do yourself a favor, put your man on the leash, because he'd rather be with beauty than to be with us. I'm gonna give you Delta. All of my love, my peace and happiness. I'm gonna give you
Listen, here's a little something you can ponder in your mind, something that has never been explored along these lines. Paint a mental picture of the guns you can find, and I'll show you why we're so fascinated with the 9. The reason that we like it doesn't lie in the design. The secret of our adoration lies behind the 9, the number. It has a special meaning that's divine, a spiritual significance that needs to be defined. Man's relationship with the number 9 is odd. It has its beginnings and its origins in God. Here is an example that I'm giving to you first. Consider there are 9 planets in the universe: Mercury, Venus, Earth, then the Mars. Plus the other 5 planets rest among the stars. They're all heavenly bodies, but herein lies the wisdom. Consider that your heavenly body has 9 systems, a planet for each system, a system for each planet. This seems to be a symbolism that we take for granted. Circulatory, reproductive, skeletal, and nervous, muscular, and endocrine to others. Go research it, and then just prepare. The universe is 999 times 999 times squared. Hey, there's a little science for the time right from the mind of the sign. Number 9. 9 represents birth, completion. That's right. All. Take notice how the 9th month is the start of fall. It's the 3rd out of 4 seasons, so peep what you find, that the 3 for the season is the square root of 9. Bullets from the 9mm keep on gunning. My mother Ty said that 9 is the number of the woman. So look closely at the word feminine, and you will find, if you break it down right, that it's really feminine, the woman in 9. And that's just a segment. Because a 9 looks like the bottom half of a woman when she's pregnant. So peep how it takes for 9 months to have a baby. Approximately 270 days she carries her seed. And that math is divine. Because the 2 plus the 7 plus the 0 equals 9. A man, when he marries a woman, the band is placed on a woman's 9th finger on her hand. Surprising? Here is something a little more enticing. Retailers use a 9 in marketing and advertising. Pricing: a car is $20,099. Gum is $79. Candy is 99 cents. A gallon of gas, $3.99. They do this because they know the attractiveness behind 9. It always multiplies back to 9. Use any number with a 9, you can find this is true. 9 times 2 is 18. And 1 plus the 8 equals 9. Know what I mean? 9 times 8. See, that's 72. The 7 plus the 2 is 9. This you can do. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, even 9 times 9, 10, or 11, 360 degrees, you will find that the 3 plus the 6 plus the 0 equals 9.
But, and by the way, you know, I'm not, I may be a white boy, but I'm not stupid. I know where the power is. I know where the, you think I'm joking. I learned a long time ago about the Divine 9.
The Divine 9 is only an illusion of control. The control Biden is talking about is over you, Black people. Their job is simple: keep you dancing, singing, praying, protesting, and crying. Funny how all that control seems to be absent as the U.S. continues to send billions of dollars to Ukraine, while places like Flint and Jackson still can't get a clean glass of water.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Yeah.
thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country.
All right, I'm back. Y'all, first of all, thank y'all so much for your patience, because I was trying to figure it out, but I figured it out. So I don't think I'm gonna have this issue again in the future. But anyway, again, thank y'all that everybody stuck through, because people that really want the truth, they're gonna stick with it anyway. More folks that don't want the truth, they just here for the ish. Right? But anyway, thank y'all for sticking through. So like I said in the very beginning, right? Whatever you believe in, right? First of all, my titles are always clear. I'm not going to get into what I believe God's name is and all that stuff. I know it's not Jesus. There is absolutely no J in the Hebrew language. Like, for example, you can't call yourself a Hebrew Israelite and you say Jesus. There's no J in the Hebrew alphabet. Okay? This is a whole nother series. I ain't gonna say video because it takes more than one video. But anyway. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? That's in the Bible. Hosea 4:6. Of course, that's a paraphrase. Jesus also talked in parables. And I also know the correct name is not Jesus, but stay with me. Okay? I know what it is. Right? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Since you have rejected knowledge, I also will reject you from being my priest. Basically from being my spokespersons. Like, you can't speak for him. Now, I also have another concept as far as this whole God thing. People like, is God a he or a she? Oh, he didn't show me some things. That's a whole nother video. I ain't even gonna do that tonight, because a lot of y'all are not ready for that. That's why you need to join me on Patreon, because only y'all that's ready for the deeper things should be over there. Just saying. My people destroyed for lack of knowledge. Since you have rejected knowledge, I also will reject you from being my priest. Since you have forgotten the law of your God, I also will forget your children. Message. Bottom line is this. Give no place to the devil. I just show y'all some of the many tactics of the devil. Why is it? And it's not just black people, just people in general. Why is it when you feel you don't fit into a certain group, you feel not wrong with creating your own lane, right? But why do you feel the need to mimic that lane or that group that you feel you didn't fit in? Why you feel the need to mimic that? Do you understand that's why Satan, the best looking angel in heaven, got booted out of heaven? Because he tried to be above God? Message. Did you hear me? He was the head, the master over music. He wasn't satisfied with that. He wanted to be the best. He wanted to be better than. He wanted to be the top. He already was good looking. He was already very talented, but that wasn't enough. He wants to be better than the creator. And that's why he got booted from heaven. Message. You can't do that. This is why, if people haven't noticed the change, the stuff that I've been doing lately, let me tell you something. Vanity is also another sin. That's why, I know a lot of people like my pictures and stuff like that, right? And I will still continue to post pictures, but now I'm doing stuff in a different type of way. If you look on my wall right now, right? I have something up, but you don't see my man's face. You see half of him, but you don't see his face, and you see half my face. I'm just doing that. To me, that's like a glimpse into my world type thing. Like I'm on that wavelength, right? Right now, what I'm doing, it's a glimpse into my world. Because the issue, in my opinion, with the society that we live in right now, there are a lot of entitled people. There are a lot of people that feel entitled to see into your life. They feel that even a little bit that you do choose to share, they think they still have the right to see more. They think they have the right to question what you even chose to show. That's some demonic ass shit. I said it. Because see, some of y'all might be like, oh, you said shit. That's a cuss word. Says who? Last time I checked, sweatshop is bad. Like Walmart. Anybody talking about that? Let's talk about that. See, even God wasn't even specific in his word as far as what is considered foul language. But he's very clear on behavior, how we should treat each other, and how you should mind your business. Right? Give me 1 second. But like I was saying, I will continue. I'm saying I keep getting messages and shit, and I don't want y'all to keep hearing the pings going on. But I'm gonna keep sharing truth with y'all. But I do know the way the censorship has been going. We all know this. I got people also asking me to do certain things, and I'm not gonna do it. I'm like, y'all gotta donate for certain shit like. People want me to create a whole website. I had that at one point. I'm like, I'm thinking about doing it again. But you got to donate for that. At the end of the day, I'm so sick of this shit. A lot of people want a lot of stuff for free. Do you not understand that you get what you pay for? Message. You get what you pay for. I will also say this. Where I'm at in my life, I'm happy and very content with not having many people in my chat. I don't want none of that stuff anymore. I got views on a lot of uploads where I have that. But when it comes to these lives and stuff, I'm happy to not have it. Because I got anxiety like a mofo. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that on my message podcast channel. I'm going to do after this one. I don't know if I'm going to do it tonight. I might do it live real quick tonight because I don't got time, right? So I might just do it live and you can see it, and if you miss it, you can catch the re-upload, right? But anyway, with that being said, we cannot serve. Look, this is why I did a post the other day. Oh, this is another thing too. I think I did it. I said something about picking sides, like offense and stuff like that. Like you got to pick a side. That's another thing. It was segued into this, but I didn't want to say because I didn't want to get enough in the way. But basically, you got to pick a side. Right? You can't be a Christian on Sunday, but the demon, the devil, Monday through Saturday. Like, you can't do that. Like, God not going to give you no pass. And you got to stop saying the devil made me do it. At the end of the day, we all got to take responsibility for what we do. And you also have to stop responding to everything. And you also need to stop looking. The day I decide to stop looking, I'll give you an example, right? Social media, right? Like, say, okay, remember back in the day, MySpace, and even Instagram, Facebook, and then we got YouTube, right? But before YouTube, we had all them other ones, right? So you could choose to unfollow people. I don't got to follow you. So if you're not following nobody, you're not going to get their updates. So at that point, if you still seeing stuff, that means you are looking. You can't even blame people for sending you shit. I don't know about y'all. I get spam emails all day, every day. And I don't check my spam folder. Message. I have my spam folder set up for automated deletion after 30 days. Come on, y'all. You got to take charge, protect your energy, protect all that. Let me be very, very clear, because I've said this before. I've been on this mofo for too effing long for anybody to play dumb with Evvonne. I said, if anybody, matter of fact, I got an email for if y'all got like suggestions, like type of videos y'all want me to do. I got my Evvonne, like the 411. I have that email address. I got my business email address. Like I said, if you had an issue with me, I have made a way for people to contact me. Now, with that being said, if I have you blocked, I got you blocked. Do you understand how YouTube works? Do you understand how Google in general works? When somebody blocks you, even if you tag them, they won't see it because they got you blocked. That's what that means. Yeah, protect your energy. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Anyway, bottom line, let me end this with this. Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you. These people in these fraternities and these sororities and these groups, the Masonic, all this stuff, it's not even just them. There is a lot of secrets, skull and bones. I've talked about all this stuff, y'all. It's a lot of names I want to say, but I ain't going to say because I know YouTube is petty. But there's a lot of groups, right, that people are a part of and been a part of, including your presidents, including the one that you think is your first black president. I said it. Because let me say this to be very, very clear, real quick. I'm so tired of the hypocrisy. I'm a light-skinned woman. My mama was not a light-skinned woman. My daddy is, but my mama wasn't. I get tired of certain terminology, right? Some people, because people to this day, if you cool with me, we cool, right? So people joke with me to this day, they call me white girl. You come with that. It is what it is. I don't give a damn. I know who my parents are, right? But with that being said, most people, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know I'm not, in the black community think or say, or they have the mindset, if you have a white parent, you are not black. Cool. The thing is, I'm lighter than a lot of these motherfuckers that do have a white parent. I don't even know how to explain that shit. Because I do know I have white ancestors. Fuck them. And they know why I say that. They're not going to haunt me. But anyway, I say that to say this. Everybody, well, not everybody, a lot of people have put Obama on a pedestal as the first black president. But the last I checked, his mama, allegedly, was white. And his daddy was black. I'm sorry, not just black. His daddy was African. Think about this, what I'm saying. And y'all not catching the fuck shit that's going on. Now, Obama's daddy was allegedly African. And his mama was white. She no longer alive, allegedly. And his daddy is no longer alive, allegedly. He's African, though. But we are saying that Obama is the first black president. And then let's scoot ahead to Kamala Harris and her fake ass, right? Her mom is of Indian descent. I'm not talking native. I'm talking Asian. I know it's confusing, but stay with me. That's how they do. Everybody in this. Come on now. And her daddy is Jamaican. I could rock with that. Y'all know I love me some Jamaican. But anyway, moving on. I could rock with that, right? But do y'all know before she was elected as a vice president, she didn't really identify as a black woman? And she actually did a lot of things to put black men behind bars. You don't have to believe me. Look it up. It is what the fuck it is. I'm not saying that to be like, oh, I'm against her or nothing like that. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, I know about that mulatto term. I looked that up when my whole ancestry shit. I'm like, what, my mama? Some people's called mulatto in our family. Some people call Negroes. You got the Negroes. You got the mulattoes. All that. I don't know who the fuck. See, to this day, people be looking at me. First of all, apparently I'm Hispanic. I'm Asian. I'm Hispanic. I'm everything except for what the fuck I really am. I'm a black woman. Well, fuck that. I don't even do the black because I look. I'm not even gonna get into that right now because I know about the colors and all that shit. So we're not gonna get into that tonight. As a matter of fact, like I told y'all, I got something on my other channel. That's gonna be over there on Friday. It's gonna be talking about anxiety. But in between then, I'm gonna have uploads for y'all. So make sure y'all check out on here and on my Patreon. Please stay tuned, y'all. But with that being said, y'all, they have been brainwashing or trying to brainwash all of us from the day we was born. And if you still think a mofo walked on the moon, you definitely a brainwash. But that's your choice, right? You think that? You think these sororities and all that stuff is some uplifting shit? You think that's some godly? See, this is what I tell people all the time. They say, I believe in God. That's cool. What's your God's name? I could tell you my God's name. See, this is why I don't do it. This is why I don't do a lot of stuff. I want people to understand real quick where the fuck I am coming from. I already raised one child. He's an autistic male now, right? I'm a whole nother setting now. I am divorced, all that, right? I'm in a whole nother relationship now. But now I'm with somebody else, and I'm not just that person, I'm around other people. When you're around other people, you respect their privacy. Right? So you don't do certain things. I'm sorry. Let me say in the chat. Anyway, bottom line is, I'm going to continue to bring y'all the truth, the information, and whatever you choose to do with that is your business. It's not mine. But like I said, support me over on Patreon, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be over on this fuck shit. Because YouTube is on a whole nother fuck shit level. YouTube is not about truth. They're about silence. Silence. Share your thoughts below. If you like this live stream and the fact that I stuck through it to figure this shit out, hit my Cash App or hit my PayPal. You don't have to, but most of all, at least hit the thumbs up and the share and subscribe. At least do that. You will always be entertained over here. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good night. Hey, if you're tired of being lied to and you want the truth, then this is the channel for you. So please hit the subscribe button now and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Thank you. Hello, to keep the integrity of my comment section, please allow me